Hi, Scorpio. Good afternoon. Welcome in, you guys. Scorpio, I wanted to do a check-in message with you. The scorpionic energy in the collective is very, very present. And of course, that's amping up as we move closer to your season, which as I record this, we are only about a week away. But even last week, I could feel that Plutonic energy and Mars amplifying. In fact, Mars is in your sign. It is the traditional ruler of Scorpio before they discovered Pluto. And Scorpio very much carries that fiery Mars aspect. In fact, you're kind of famous for the combination of fire and water. I'm going to do a little bit of an intro, Scorpio, and then I'll jump into a collective reading. If you want to jump ahead to that reading, go ahead. I'll put a timestamp in the description box below. I want to actually start off by saying I channeled in a quote for Scorpio from one of my favorite Scorpionic writers, Margaret Atwood. And the quote that came to me from her is, having experienced both, I can't decide which is worse, the extreme feeling or the absence of it. And that is incredibly Scorpionic. In fact, in the minor arcana of the tarot, you're represented by the 5, 6, and 7 of cups, which I have out here handily to show you. The 5 of cups, Scorpio energy, you can relate to this, I'm sure, if you have strong Scorpionic energy in your chart. It is that moment when you realize that you've seen the truth in a situation. And it's like that sadness that you know is about to come. Scorpio always knows ahead of time when it's time to release, when something isn't going to go deep enough. Scorpio, you're positioned in a very interesting place in the zodiac. You're right after Libra and before Sagittarius. Now, Libra represents harmony, balance, justice, yes. But it represents it in that kind of like balanced, harmonious sense, like I'm saying, like legal justice. And then Sagittarius represents the truth. But you, Scorpio, lay in the middle as the investigator to get to the core of the issue, to see the real facts behind it. The 8th house, which is your house, is the house of both the criminal and the investigator. So there's always that dual mind at work when we're dealing with Scorpio energy, always seeing the truth behind the situation, behind the intention. So the 5 of Cups is that moment when you realize that you're going to have to walk away from anything that is kind of in a light, pretentious level. The 3 of Cups is like partying and fun and light, and it's great, and Scorpio loves that. But there always comes that moment where you're like, I can see where this is going to go. The 6 of Cups is the choice to walk away and to know, because you are ruled by Pluto, that you're always going to carry that emotional memory. That's the thing with Pluto. It's incredibly deep. It's very, very psychological and psychic. And as I always say with all of the water signs, but in particular Scorpio, because you're fixed water, the heart isn't entered into easily, and this is why, because it is permanent. Now, of course, the masters of knowing when it's time to detach. You're also the masters of detaching with love. And that's interesting because I'm going to go into that in a minute. But also the 7 of Cups, and this is all of the untold possibilities of where the heart can go. This is the investigation into your own intuition of, again, different possibilities. Now, Scorpio, also being ruled by Mars, you're not afraid to take a risk. And you can see all of these cups are filled with potential pitfalls, but potential treasures. And Scorpio always says it's worth a try. It's worth a try to go deeper. So that's very interesting. And I wanted to show you that. And then, of course, in the major arcana, you are death and rebirth for all of these reasons. If things aren't always moving, aren't always progressing, aren't always going deeper, aren't always being challenged, then it stagnates. And that is something that Scorpio cannot handle. The 8th house of the zodiac, perhaps the most mysterious house. In fact, Scorpio, perhaps the most misunderstood or mysterious sign. I would say in my personal readings that Scorpio energy is the one that people come to me the most about for its mystery. And again, those cards do explain a lot about the emotional and of course there's much more to it than that, but they do explain a lot about the scorpionic emotional process. Now the 8th house is about a lot of things, Scorpio. It's ruled by Pluto, right, your ruling planet. So we have death, taxes, and inheritances. We have criminal money, and we also have investigator. Scorpio has perhaps one of the strongest investigative abilities in the zodiac, for me, along with Virgo, the second sign people approach me about the most, which is interesting. And also in the 8th house is the hidden, the occult, the unknown, all of the things that people are afraid to see. Pluto is the shadow, it's the underworld. But again, Scorpio always says, let's look a little deeper, it's worth it. And there's a fearlessness behind that that comes with Mars. Now, not everybody is like that, as you know, Scorpio, and a lot of people, what that Margaret Atwood quote was saying, right? Extreme feeling or extreme lack of it. Most people don't have either experience and don't really want to. Scorpio's always pushing things to the edge, internally, externally. It's kind of your job. You're the last personal house of the zodiac before we move into transpersonal or spiritual experiences. So you're in charge of the full integration of everything that comes before. The 8th house is very much a turning point. And Sagittarius marks the aim towards the future. And you don't want to, as I keep saying in the collective, enter into that unless you've exhumed everything that lays below. Otherwise, you're going to be setting the future vision on falsehoods. And in Scorpio energy, that will never do. I always say with Scorpio, it's like anything that's hidden is treated as a lie because it's hidden. And there can be this unrelenting need to know, to see the truth, because of course, as fixed water, as the psychic of the zodiac, you can feel it. Now, I'm not a Scorpio myself. I do have rising Uranus North Node in Scorpio, though. And in the 8th house, I have 4 planets stellium. So Pluto then is the ruler of my chart. Of what I speak. It's pretty intense energy. And in the collective, too, because of that Mars and Pluto, we put those together, right? And people automatically think war, tension, all of these things. Power. Power is a big one, too. That can be there. And also vengeance is a word often associated with Scorpio energy. Why? Because if you try to hide something from a Scorpio, it's not even a choice. They don't need to see it. It's not a vengeance that they want or will plan. That's Pluto and Mars, and you better not mess around with those 2 energies. Or the 8th house, which, like I said, can see literally behind the veil into the hidden. It's a super intense energy that can breathe things like that edgy energy that we feel in the collective. But that is because things have been hidden and people are afraid to look. Pluto is the mirror. It is what shows us what's inside is reflected outside, vice versa. Scorpio, if you have that strongly in your chart or you've dealt strongly with Scorpios, those plutonic relationships are mirrors too, and they do the same thing. Unconsciously, it's not, like I said, really a choice. I always think it's interesting because I have Venus and Saturn in the 8th house, in Leo, but still. And when I hear all of these kind of messages about these twin flame relationships and these runner chaser relationships and these deep psychic attachment relationships, I'm like, you ever had a plutonic relationship? You ever been involved with or had Scorpio in your chart? It's just life, isn't it? Anyway, also, though, I will mention too, when your season hits your opposite sign, Taurus, Uranus is retrograding back through Taurus right now. And Uranus brings about sudden change. It's the Tower. Very interesting energy, Scorpio. One more note. I've been saying all along, I'm having a lot of dental work done and I have like an appliance in. So if I sound a little muffled, that is why, my friends. I'm getting used to it. All right, Scorpio, let me grab a sip and then we'll get into the general reading. it's still a general reading. So you're not going to resonate with everything that I say. You're simply not meant to. Just take what fits for you as it does, if it does, and leave the rest behind. All right, Scorpio, what do we have? From the Sacred Rebels Oracle deck and the overall energy for Scorpio. On the bottom, we have release the dark wound and let love live. I like the Piscean component with the fish because right now we have Saturn and Neptune at 20 degrees of Pisces. In fact, there's a grand water trine between yourself with Mars and Mercury and Cancer with Jupiter and Pisces there. But anyway, look at how this fish is being restored in the water. Maybe it's time to open your heart, Scorpio. Yeah, look at this. Yeah. New birth, guarded, vigilantly. Guarded just leaps off the card to me. And of course, when Scorpio's been through a lot or been hurt, there's that 8th house. There's that I trust no one. I'm always going to see what's below the surface. What I always tell people is if you try to be duplicitous or hurt a Scorpio, it's unlikely they're going to get overly angry with you. They're angry because you got past their guard somehow. And that's the whole problem. But anyways, look at this green butterfly. 2 cards about coming back to life. Please be on. That's lovely. And you know what else is interesting, Scorpio? This is number 24. If we reduce that, it's number 6. We have the 6 of Cups. But also, this is number 25. Look at this. Guarded vigilantly, but release the dark wound and let love live. But we can't release the dark wound unless we look at it, right? And that's the job of the 8th house. Okay, I'll do astrology after. Let's get into it definitely with the naked heart. Let me see the recent past. Maybe we'll take a look a little at that dark wound. It's going to, of course, be different for each of you. Well, look what's coming out here. Okay. We have the Empress, divine feminine energy, Venus energy. Venus is moving into your sign in like a week. But anyway, this could be wife, mother. This could be your position in life. You could have been in a position of being like, this could have been someone around you. Okay. Or, I mean, sometimes the 4 of Wands to me, and the sunflowers especially, it looks like you're guarding new possibilities. You're birthing something new, right? Inside the sunflower, we have all of those seeds that get scattered. Okay. Fire energy with the 4 of Wands. 4 of Wands can be about a home. It can be about safety as well, though. So that could be something maybe you move. Let me see you now. 3 of Wands. Interesting, right? Because we're going down. And in the recent past, there was some kind of stability, maybe. 4 of Wands, a home, something. But this is you now wanting to see what's out there. Something was left behind. This is a new horizon. Look at the golden sunset inside of it. This is like setting your intention on something new. Okay, the new birth, what comes next? What were you birthing in the recent past? I mean, the Empress is the divine creator. For some of you, there could have actually been having a child. And for others of you, it could have been something creative. It could have been the new you. We have this new birth. We'll see where that goes. Okay, what's coming up for you? Look at all the fire coming through. What's the next steps for Scorpio? What do we have? Yes, we have the 8 of Cups, Pisces energy. This is what you're leaving behind. So that's what I'm saying. The 8 of Cups isn't the 10 of Cups, is it, Scorpio? And as water signs, all of you want the full picture. And this is about having the courage to go and find that. Now, in the recent past, whatever it is that you left behind, yeah, it was stable. but it obviously wasn't the full picture. We have the Three of Wands. Still looking. I see the King of Swords down here. Anytime I see the swords in a water sign reading, I know there's that guarded defensiveness. Okay. Let me see the energy around you. This could be another person or a furthering of your situation. Oh, we have the Lovers. Gemini's major arcana. Interesting, it's number 6 in the major arcana, and I called out number 6 right there. Now, the Lovers this could be somebody from your past. It's a very, very deep soul connection. And generally speaking, it wakes us up to a side of ourselves that we haven't seen. Or if we have, it's been a very long time. And there comes the choice point. And whatever it is that made you, not made you, but what inspired you with this new birth, this is what it is. This is the choice. Okay. And what you're headed towards. 9 of Swords, guarded vigilantly, Scorpio. The 9 of Swords is staying up all night. It's nightmares, anxiety, trying to stay ahead of a story. What's that? 9 of Swords. Ooh, okay. What's the challenge? 5 of Cups. What did I say? It's that moment when you know that you got to walk away from something. It makes you sad to do it, but it's not going to go where it needs to go, which is the 10 of Cups. Look at that, Scorpio. The 5 of Cups is only half. And so you did what you had to do. You made that difficult choice. And the Lovers is a very difficult choice. I always point out 8 of Cups is not nothing. It's quite a bit. And a lot of people would stop there. But Scorpio wouldn't. You have the courage to know that you can see a potential outcome. And then, of course, we'll clarify. For Scorpio. Oh, isn't that beautiful? I mentioned that golden sunset that you're looking at, and we have the sun. Leo's major arcana. The sun is new birth, rebirth. For some of you, there actually could be a child involved. Somebody could have just, the Empress here, could have just given birth. But for others of you, this is just the new birth, guarded vigilantly, the new beginning. This is what you see. And the reason why you're leaving that safety of the 4 of Wands. Now we'll go into that a little bit. These cards are so slippery. They keep sliding all over the table. 6 of Pentacles and strength. Strong Leo energy coming through. But as I said, it takes courage, 8 of Cups, to walk away. It could have even cost you some money. Or you could be saving money. There could be something involved in that. Okay. Let's clarify with the wild unknown. I love it. We have the 2 sides of Scorpio here. Okay. Let's take a look at the recent past. With the Empress and the 4 of Wands. Okay. The High Priestess, the Empress, and the 4 of Swords. Yeah. Oh my gosh, Scorpio. And the Wheel of Fortune. Now, the Wheel is Sag energy. It is my let go or be dragged card, but I just said Jupiter is in Cancer. This is Jupiter energy. It brings about destiny. It brings about change. And here is that Lover's card, which can share that energy. Like I said, whether it be in the form of a person, a place, an opportunity, it has that let go or be dragged quality to it. But the wheel is change. And also good fortune. Now we got Pisces coming through with the High Priestess, intuition. But you're following that. Some of you now, 4 of Swords, you could have been receiving a lot of intuitive psychic messages about whoever this Lover's energy is or whatever it is. That is what's prompting you to create this change. It's definitely destiny knocking. Yeah, look, we have the Fool, Aries major arcana. Right now, we have Saturn and Neptune at 29 degrees of Pisces, but about half a degree off of the new beginning, new birth, the leap of faith onto the whole new path. Let's see Three of Wands. This is where you are now. You see it. The Seven of Swords, there's that strategy. The Seven of Swords is about making secret strategies and keeping them to yourself, which is a natural Scorpionic way of doing things. It's, yes, guarded, right? Very protective. And look at this foxy fox. He's got one eye closed, one eye open. You try to get that sword of truth out up from underneath of him, you're toast. The Six Swords are what you're allowed to see. The Seventh Sword is what you're not. And that's the vision. That's where you want to go. And you're doing it under the cover of night. Let's see. But this is making plans and telling no one. Eight of Cups, yeah. Ooh, I do like this, Scorpio. This is the Mars side of you. Fire energy, Sag energy. You could be dealing with the Sagittarius or have it strongly in your chart. But the Queen of Wands is when you step into that Mars power and say, I can create any kind of reality I want. I have the confidence. I have the ability. I will point out that, look at this Cobra, though. She looks like she's guarding those eggs, right? New birth, guarded vigilantly. You get near them, you're toast. Same energy as that fox. But you're definitely making plans, and a lot of this can have to do with protecting the future that you're birthing, whether that be actual family and children. It could be for some of you. As we go deeper, right, it's going to resonate differently. Let me see the Eight of Cups. So now you're on the move. Yes, now you're on the move. Look at all the swords coming through. You could have strong air in your chart, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, or be dealing with one. But the Five of Swords, Five of Swords, well, there's no mistake. The Six of Swords is wanting to move forward out of a place of internal conflict, maybe. Sharp words being spoken, things you're telling yourself that keep you back. I can't do it. It'll only lead to failure. We have a little bit of that, right? Because it's requiring strength for you to believe in the path you're headed on here. Okay. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles. Oh, I do love to see that. That's a brand new seed of possibility and is very viable. You could be wanting to go towards somebody and offer them stability of some kind, or the beginning of it. I mean, the Four of Wands can be a house. The Ace of Pentacles can be the key to a house. Let me see the Six of Swords with the Eight of Cups. Look, the Lovers. With the Lovers' energies, it's often a balance of oppositions. So you and whoever this situation is, could be quite opposing by nature. Look at Scorpio energy, the Five of Cups. Whoever this or whatever it is, it could be somebody from your past. We have Five of Cups, which we already saw. I said it's half of the Ten of Cups, which is in the challenge. And it looks like that's what you want to move towards, or something here that was leaving you. Okay, for some of you, you're walking away from something that was unfulfilling. It wasn't making you feel emotionally satisfied. The Five of Cups in a Scorpio reading is a card about absolute lack, energetic lack, and kind of an eternal sadness. And now for others of you, you could be heading towards somebody from your past that you did walk away from at one time, but you miss them. And you would with the Lover's energy. Let me see that. Here's where the rubber hits the road. Let's see. The Lovers. Okay. The Seven of Pentacles. Earth energy. Well, this is the only Earth one we have. But we saw that Ace of Pentacles. Now, this can be about plans already made, seeds already planted, and you wanting to come in and make an offer to take it deeper, like I said. Let's go one more here. This is the choice. This is a lot of time and energy and effort invested into something. Oh, 10 of Pentacles. Then we have the 10 of Cups. Okay. 9 of Swords. We already saw the 9 of Swords. Look at this intense 9 of Swords, Scorpio. And it's like this thread of logic running, whatever is going on here, has been sliced right in half. It's too much overthinking. It's too much strategy. Guarded vigilantly. I get it, but man, here's your plan. 7 of Pentacles. There's already a lot of seeds planted, and look. Going to say you expect it to go all the way. 10 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles, the Emperor. And we have the Empress right here, right? Divine feminine energy. I'm sorry, well, yes, but we have Mars here. Okay, Scorpio, if this doesn't involve another person, if you're creating this new life, then this is you going from the phase of the Empress, very yin energy, and spending a lot of time in meditation and integration and gathering what you want to create, receiving those visions. And then stepping into Emperor energy and having the courage to enact those plans in a very physical, real world sense. Does that make sense, Scorpio? Taking it out of the yin and into the yang, taking action from Pluto to Mars. And for others of you, though, this is somebody around you, the Emperor, the 10 of Pentacles. Okay. Generally speaking, I always say it takes 2 people to get to the 10 in tarot. You can get to the 9s on your own, but you cannot get to the 10. And I see the 9 of Cups. 10 of Cups, interesting. I'm all over the place, Scorpio. 10 of Cups in the challenge. But again, there's no mistake, 9 of Cups. In the recent past, you were getting into that Empress energy. The Emperor stayed on the bottom. 8 of Pentacles. And the Emperor stayed on the bottom, taking it deeper. We saw the Ace coming in and the 7 right here. And it's kind of like maybe this is somebody around you wondering, is it going to reach stability? 10 of Pentacles. Because I kind of had you coming in with that 8th Pentacle. Whatever that represents, right? That can be you investing more time and energy in a situation. Could be you furthering a plan, making an offer. Let me see the 10 of Cups. For Scorpio. Got Leo on the bottom with strength. And more Sag. Temperance here. Interesting. Sag is right after you, but Temperance is about patience, alchemy, leveling things out. Worth the wait. Let me see one more. Temperance. And then the World. Oh, 3 major arcana here in the challenge. Okay. The World is about the completion of a cycle, yes. The last card in the major, and we saw the Fool. So there's a patience here about getting this 10 of Cups, taking the time. The Fool is poised and ready to go. The new beginning. And then that confidence required, if you're in that position where there's no other people involved and you've been creating your new world, this is, again, the world is the challenge, putting yourself out there. For some of you, it could definitely require relocation. And I see the Sun, even with the Sun. See? The Nine of Pentacles is there. How interesting, because I already called it out. Two of Pentacles. Okay. One more for Scorpio. The Sun and the Two of Pentacles. Okay. And then the Six of Wands. Look at that butterfly reference, which we have on her shoulder. And I always say the butterfly is very scorpionic, right? It's transformation, and it's not an easy one. You know what happens when the caterpillar is in the cocoon. It's not pretty, but look how beautiful the rebirth is. It's like the challenge makes it more beautiful, whatever you've been through. And that matches this butterfly as well. But Four of Wands, that's back here. And we have coming back around. One more on that Four of Wands. Maybe it's a dream you thought you lost. Let's see. Justice, Libra. And it's all major arcana. We have the Hanged Man. Now, Scorpio, through this transformation process, it may have changed the way that you see things. You could have a whole new perception now on that Four of Wands energy, which is what for you? Let's see. Justice stayed there. The Three of Wands. And the Three of Wands is here. I mean, yes, again, for some of you, it could involve travel, but I feel like you're seeing things in a different light or seeing somebody in a different light. Let me go one more deep on that with the Naked Heart. And then I'm going to go to the blue deck. For Scorpio, what do we have? Three of Wands. Three of Cups. Oh, the Eight of Wands. Okay. Three of Cups. There's the Five of Cups. You could want reunion, right? The wheel brings things back around. It could be somebody that that you miss a lot. And that Ten of Cups is what you want. Eight of Wands now. Well, we have two Four of Wands. The Eight of Wands implies travel. It could. Maybe there's travel involved, but it's also communication, action, passion, movement forward. For some of you, the Three of Cups can definitely, this could involve creativity or work. For a lot of you. And for others of you, it could be about love. Yes. We have the Emperor and the Empress. I mean, yes. Of Cups. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio energy. And the Hanged Man. Yeah, you might be seeing this person differently. Or they you. Let's go to the blue deck. For Scorpio. And what do we have? Well, we have financial constraints. We do have that Seven of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles. If there's travel, that would explain. Morning. Oh. That's the Tower energy for me. That is Scorpio, Aquarius, Aries energy. Change. Okay. What else? Maybe you were through a storm. We do have the Six of Swords, Six of Wands. That implies there was a lot of struggle. Deceit. Scorpio. Oh. Oh. Did somebody deceive you or try to? Cornucopia. I always say cornucopia isn't just about money. It's about abundance of every kind. And we have the Ten of Cups and Ten of Pentacles. And we have a new possibility of that for you. That's what you want. Deceit and journey. Said you're keeping your plans hidden. Let's have another one. We also, I didn't see it fall out, Scorps, but we have blossoming abundance. There could be a baby. Not all of you at all, of course. The Empress, like I said, can be a lot of different types. We have Goddess of the Moon indecision, and the garden and the gate. The goddess of the moon is Cancer energy, but also on the first day of your season, on the 21st, we have a new moon in Libra. Yes, it's half a degree off your sign. Okay, indecision. Yeah, Nine of Swords. You're definitely overthinking, moving to, and like I said, the Lover's energy can do that. It's very passionate. Eight of Wands. It's very passionate. And then the garden and the gate. Look at this little girl wanting to leave her comfort zone, which also reminds me of the Four of Wands, right? And beyond here is that sun. We saw the sun in the outcome. That's what she's heading for. He or she. But it definitely requires you leaving your comfort zone. With this Eight of Pentacles, many of you it could have to do with working, with a job. Okay. Let's get some talisman. I did say Six of Pentacles. If there's travel or whatever, it might cost money. We have financial constraints. For Scorpio, we have a lot of new moon energy with this Empress and the High Priestess too. Now, we saw the Queen of Cups. There could be somebody around you who is incredibly intuitive as well. Okay. We have Luna, the moon. We have intuition. Elixir of life, which is the Ten of Cups. Okay. I do see transformational energy here. Okay. And one more for Scorpio. Mindfulness, guarded vigilantly. And then knowledge and balanced emotions on the bottom. We have that Two of Pentacles, Four of Wands, and the Sun. That's definitely about balanced emotion. But Nine of Swords is not. All right, Scorps. We'll do some astrology. How's my timing? Okay. This could be astrological energy in your chart and somebody around you, or just overall influencing the situation. They all came out together. We have the retrograde or the review, something from your past. That's Pluto retrograde, though, which it was doing. And then we have the fourth house. That's Cancer's house, the house of the home. We have a partnership with Juno. A lot of you, it can be about a working partnership that involves moving, but it could be both. It could be love and work. And then we have communication or messages. So what's on the bottom? We have the ascendant. That's the arrival of the new. That's Aries' house, is the first house. Interesting. Okay. Definitely it can be about a second chance at a career trajectory. All right, Scorpio, is that it? Is that all we're going to do? How about, I'll close it off with a couple of cards from the Lover's Oracle. These can come out as advice, so definitely take it only as it resonates. This is quite interesting, Scorpio. I hope it resonated for you. Oh, look at this. Life is a series of constantly shifting cycles. When we resist change, Uranus into Taurus, we resist the natural flow of life and create unnecessary stress. Nine of Swords. Let go, and all will work out. Okay. Be vigilantly. Wow, Scorpio. Forgiveness. Stop focusing your energy on past events. That vengeance energy. Now, Scorpio, if you feel comfortable, and Scorpios aren't ones, like I said, Seven of Swords, to divulge much, but share where you stand on vengeance. Does it have a place in your life? Do you experience that feeling? Of course, not the action, but anyway, stop focusing your energy on past events. Life is too precious to waste. This is the whole reading. You create your reality by what you think, dream, and imagine. Okay? When it comes to matters of the heart, there is no right or wrong, and we have that indecision in the garden and the gate. Every choice you make expands your understanding of life and love. That's the whole thing with the Mars and Pluto combination, right? That's what we're here to do. Explore the depths of the possibilities. What good is the fear? Look deep within your heart and you will feel my love. My love for you is as deep as the ocean. I want to get you a romance angel, Scorpio. We have to. For those of you where this is romance. Okay. We do have an Emperor and an Empress. We saw a Queen of Cups, 10 of Cups. Well, that is love as deep as the ocean. And that is worth pursuing. Yeah. It says make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. Scorpio, guided. We got all the moon energy. We have the High Priestess. We got the Four of Swords and the Lovers. So you definitely are being guided. The Four of Wands and the Lovers is very strong soulmate energy. Let go of control issues. Allow this situation to unfold naturally. Oh my. Okay. New love. A new person has stirred your romantic interest. And then passion. Okay, this says allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. Let go of control issues. Allow this situation to unfold. Allow. Okay, that's what I have for you, Scorpio. I love you guys very much. I hope this was helpful. You'll be hearing more from me as we get closer to your season. See you soon.